Ayan, good morning, Lansangan ni Juan. Naintindihan nyo na ba at napakinggan o napanood sa YouTube yun pong pagpunta ni PBBM sa Switzerland sa pagdalo niya po sa APEC, no? Alam nyo ba mga kababayan na noong mapakinggan ko po ito, doon ko naintindihan kung gaano kaganda o kalaki yung magiging future po ng Pilipinas. Ito po yung hindi nagagawa at hindi alam ng mga nakarang administrasyon, mga kababayan. Dahil naintindihan ko din naman, no, kasi meron silang mga agenda na ikagaganda rin ng ating bansa. Pero ang maganda ho rito, natapos na yung drugs, sa pamamagitan po ni PRRD, maganda po infrastructure. So ngayon naman nagko-concentrate ang ating PBBM sa ekonomiya, no? Sa ibig sabihin, nangangalap po siya sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo ng mamumuhunan dito. So ito, pakinggan natin mga kababayan kung ano po yung mga pag-uusap nila at kanyang paliwanag. Ito po, napakaganda mga kababayan. Pakinggan po natin.
Kaya andito po tayo ngayon sa Switzerland at nakilahok sa World Economic Forum kasabay ng mga pinakamahuhusay na business leaders sa buong mundo, mga bigating negosyante at investor, mga ekonomista at mga political leader. Talagang isang malaking karangalan ang maimbitahan dito, kaya wala naman tayong sinayang na pagkakataon sa pagre-representa ng mahusay sa ating bansang Pilipinas dito sa pandaigdigang entablado.
Thank you for manifested interest in the Philippines. Well, according to IMF, projection for global economic growth in 2023 is a rather low 2.7%. In the Philippines, the picture is slightly different, and we project our economy to grow by around 7% in 2023. Our actual projection is 6.5%, but there are signs that we might be able to surpass that.
Ang tema ng World Economic Forum ngayon ay cooperation in a fragmented world. Ang ibig sabihin ay paano natin ipagkakaisa ang lahat ng mundo ngayon dahil mukhang naghihiwa-hiwalay ulit dahil sa dami ng krisis. Ang ibig sabihin rin nito ay hindi Pilipinas lamang ay may mga problema na hinaharap natin. Lalo na sa pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin, pagkain, ito ang paidagdigan suliranin na kahit ang mga pinakamahuhusay na ekonomista ay pilit na ilinulutas.
Despite all of this conflict, we are determined to stay away. Simply because we are anchored in the idea that the future of Asia Pacific cannot be determined by anyone but the countries of the Asia Pacific. And that removes us immediately from that idea that you must choose. We choose our friends. We choose our neighbors. That's the choice that we have made.
Ang sabi nga, there is no silver bullet to this problem. Hindi lang iisa ang solusyon. Ang pagtutulungan at kooperasyon ay kinakailangan upang makabangon din ang Pilipinas, kundi ang buong mundo.
Strikes like this one on another airfield in Russia can also be hard to detect, complicating Russian.
Sino ang mag-aakala ang giyera sa isang panig ng mundo na napakalayo sa atin ay maapektuhan ang kabuhayan ng mga magsasaka dito sa Pilipinas? Sino ang mag-aakalang ang hindi pagkakaunawaan ng mga naglalakihang bansa ay makakapagdala ng kahirapan sa buhay ng mga maliliit na bansang walang kinalaman sa kanilang hidwaan? Tayong lahat ay konektado sa problema at lalo na sa solusyon.
All our priority interventions are those geared towards making food available, affordable, accessible amid the looming global food and energy shortage.
Tayo rin ay nabigyan ng pagkakataon ihayag ang mga pamamaraan ginagawa natin sa Pilipinas sa gitna ng crisis na ito. Ito marahil ay sa kadahilanan kumpara sa ibang bansa, naging maganda ang performance natin sa pagbabangon nitong nakaraang taon. Kaya tuloy-tuloy lang ang ating pamahalaan sa pagpupursige tungo sa pagbabangon. Kabilang diyan ang linatag nating Philippine Development Plan para sa taong 2023 hanggang 2028 na siyang magiging gabay sa systematic sistematikong pagpapaunlad sa bawat sektor ng pamumuhay. Kasama rin dyan ay yung pagpapatibay ng ating relasyon sa pribadong sektor. Nakakatuwa dahil 7 sa mga higanting kumpanya sa Pilipinas ay kasama nating dumalo dito sa Davao. Full force ang suporta nila sa ating mga ginagawa ng pamalahan at vice versa. Napakaraming bagay na hindi natin pwedeng magawa kung wala ang pribadong sektor. Kaya buo rin ang ating suporta sa kanila. When we first discussed the Sovereign Wealth Fund, the real purpose is that there is not enough money in government to do all of the things that we need to do. We have reserves, and we must make that money sitting in banks, commercial, and government. We need to find a way to make that money work for us, especially since the development that we are anticipating to initiate are really in the big ticket items. We're talking about energy, we're talking about infrastructure, we're talking about agricultural development. We'll need a great deal of support, infrastructure especially, and energy especially. The management of the Wealth Fund must be seen to be rational, sober, professional. Nagkaroon din kami ng pagkakataon ipahiwatig at kumonsulta sa ibang economic leaders and investors tungkol sa ating hangaring magkaroon nitong tinatawag na Sovereign Wealth Fund. Bakit nga ba kailangan ito? Ano ba ang practice sa kanilang mga bansa? Paano ba ito makakatulong sa atin? Ano ang mga kailangan gawin para maging matagumpay ang pagmamanage ng isang Sovereign Fund? Lahat yan, tinalakay natin. Maganda naman ang kanilang pagtanggap sa posibilidad ng pagkakaroon natin ng ganyang pondo. Tinatanong sa amin, ano ba talaga yung fund ninyo? Ano yung kaibahan doon sa mga iba? Ano ba talagang balak ninyo rito? Ano yung sadya? Bakit ninyo ginagawa ito? Kailangan nilang malaman yan. Naisagot naman natin at intindihan naman nila na sa kanilang palagay, kung maayos ang pagpatakbo ng pondong ito, ay malaking maitutulong yan. Ang hindi naiiwasang usapan, kahit sa pandaigdigang pagpulong ng mga economic leaders, ay ang climate change. Maalala ninyo, bago ako umalis para sa Switzerland, dinalaw muna natin ang mga communities sa Hinguo kung saan ang komunidad ay nalubog sa matinding pagbabaha na dala ng ulan. Hindi makabalik sa kanilang mga bahay at apektado pati ang kanilang pamumuhay at kabuhayan. At bilang bansang pinaka-apektado ng climate change sa buong mundo, mahalagang isulong natin sa bawat pagkakataong meron ang usaping ito. Ang bawat leader ng mga higanting negosyo at ekonomiya ay nakikinig at naghahanap ng solusyon. Mula clean and green energy sources hanggang sa mga iba pang makakabagong teknolohiya, marami pang maaaring magawa para pangalagaan ang kalikasan habang pinapaunlad natin ang ating ekonomiya. Mga bagong pagkakaibigang aming nabuo kasama ang mga respetadong negosyante at economic business giant mula sa iba't ibang larangan at panig ng mundo ay napakagandang balita para sa ating bumabangong ekonomiya. The opportunities are limitless when we open up the new networks and partnerships. Hindi lang pala pang Pilipinas ang ating mensahe ng pagkakaisa at pagtutulungan. Ito rin ang sigaw ng buong mundo tungo sa tuloy-tuloy na pagbabangon tungo sa mas maunlad na bukas. Thank you very much for your introduction. I'm pleased to be joining you this morning, and as we acknowledge the distinguished panel experts, academics, executives, and officials who we will be hearing from during the discussion period. It is quite apropos that we hold this gathering prior to taking our midday meal for the day. For us in the Philippines, an essential and perennial component of a meal is one served with rice. Filipinos join over half the global population where rice is an essential grain, the veritable stuff of life. We simply cannot get enough rice. It was not too long ago, just over 70 years, when the Philippines embarked on an experiment to fortify rice with thiamine and other nutrients, this experiment helped solve the severe problem that was existing in our country then of beriberi, which was a leading cause of death at the time. It's now considered as a model for public health nutrition and for rice enrichment programs in other countries. Beyond rice, we created the National Nutrition Council 48 years ago to supervise, coordinate, and evaluate the National Nutrition Program for all public and private agencies. Food security remains at the forefront of our national agenda, anchored on our vision for a prosperous, resilient, and secure Philippines by the year 2040. The overreaching goals of this administration that are to build an inclusive society when no one is hungry, where Filipinos live long and healthy lives, and where they are provided with an environment built upon trust and security, and where they can be innovative and remain smart and responsive to the problems of the day. Underscoring all these lofty goals is ensuring that each and everyone is provided with quality and ample nutrition. In a 2021 Global Food Security Index, the Philippines ranked a modest 64th out of 113 countries in 4 dimensions of food security metrics. We have made significant gains in the past few years, but more certainly needs to be done if we are to attain Sustainable Development Goal 2 on zero hunger. It bears emphasizing that the challenge of nutrition is different for you and for me, from your economy to mine, from us here to the people back home. Among our priority interventions are those geared towards making food available, affordable, accessible amid the looming global food and energy shortage. Government spending will focus on productivity-enhancing interventions for the agricultural sector. Research and development is going to be a very important component for this, as with the advent, as has been mentioned, with the advent of the climate change issues, the impact on climate change has to be part of that discussion. Government spending will focus on on the agricultural sector, but also it will in the distribution sector. For as all governments, we buy a lot of food to provide for our schools. There's a feeding program for children to provide for, especially during the pandemic, for assistance to those who are in trouble. And we have learned during our sessions here that systems-based and data-driven cooperation is key to achieving security, and the challenge we face in nutrition is no exception. So let me offer a few ideas. We must, first of all, boost productivity in agriculture and fisheries, including through climate-resilient technologies, and promote production even in non-agricultural areas, such as urban and vertical farming and community gardening for subsistence supply. The food from the toil of our own hands is the food that will most nourish our bodies. We must invest in facilities, logistics, and systems that bring the nutritious food to our people, much like a grander scale of farm to table, and increase the capacity of our institutions to enforce regulations that enhance food quality. We must also cooperate to develop technologies that increase the nutritional value of our food and content and prolong their shelf life, which are sometimes contrary goals. And again, we count on the research and development that will be undertaken and the new technologies that will be discovered for us to be able to bridge that gap. Let us incentivize a nutritious lifestyle, promote active and health-seeking behaviors across different ages and income levels, and create an ecosystem based on the concept of green and circular economy. We are looking to working with the WEF and various stakeholders on a holistic and integrated plan covering both food security and nutrition security. The work of the WEF's New Frontiers of Nutrition, a vital component of the equally vital Future of Consumption platform, is commendable in this regard in providing us all with the first big leap towards nutrition security through a common paradigm on the purpose of nutrition and the future of food, and developing principles and indicators to sustain our efforts while aiming to create economic value for nutrition. Friends and partners, I look forward to productive and insightful outcomes from this discussion today. I'm confident we will be able to arouse high-impact, actionable, and collective ideas to steer us all forward on our common goal of nutrition security, not only in health and food, but especially in the quality of that food. I wish you all a nutritious lunch, but not to be had before an enjoyable and productive panel session. Thank you and goodbye.
Ayan mga kababayan, napakinggan po natin ang talumpati ng ating PBBM doon sa summit. So, sa Switzerland mga kababayan. So, naintindihan ko po na napakaganda ng future po ng Pilipinas. No, sana ay magtuloy-tuloy po mga kababayan. At saka kung iisipin po natin na talagang yung kanyang sinasabing pagkakaisa, pati pala sa buong mundo ganun po yung kanilang gusto. So, mga kababayan, maraming salamat po sa pagsubaybay sa aking channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share again. At pakita rin po yung notification bell para ma-update po kayo sa lahat po nating mga video. Maraming salamat po, Nansang Aliwan.